music. He's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 and music. Love, love.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for The Chi. This is episode 9, season 1. The season finale comes on next week. I am very, very sad that the season finale comes on next week because I love, love, love this show. But, you know, all good things must come to an end. The great thing is we already know that this show has been picked up for a season 2. So it's not like we like waiting in limbo to figure things out. So that's the great thing. And as I say in every video, the most question I get recently has been either about the intro song or my lipstick. So intro song, if you want the song, the link to get the song is in the is in the description box below. It's my best friend's song, Karla Pace. Lipstick. This lipstick is Urban Decay. The color is Heroin. A lot of people wanted me to do a lipstick review, but it just takes too much time and I wear different colors. So yeah, this is like a purplish color. So yeah, let's get into this review. This episode brought out a lot of things that we did know, that we did not know. It confirmed things that we thought. So I was very excited for this particular episode. In the beginning of it, we see how Emmett is getting to work and he's complaining to Sonny about Tiffany, about how she's difficult, she's back in his life now, how she won't let him see EJ, how she wants child support, and she wants A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And he like, look, all I want to see my son. I'm thinking I should maybe go take her to court. And saying like, that's going to cost money. You need money to do that. Like, you know, you need money for the lawyers, the court fees, all this stuff. And they still going to take child support out your check every 2 weeks. And then, you know, he's like, well, I think I just need to get some quick money. He like, nah, you know, quick money ain't good money. And then he was like, well, maybe I can get your brother Q. He like, nope, don't you do it. Sonny is completely against anyone working with his brother Q, because Sonny know that Q ain't to be fucked with, and Q was a whole different kind of gangster that Emmett really don't know. And he like, look, my brother dangerous. He's cancer. He go kill you and anyone around him. He like, look, a reckoning is coming, and you need to be far, far away when it happens. Like, don't you fuck around with my brother. Just stay clear of him and don't be around that. So, you know, for the most part, Emmett says okay, and he'll see, you know, he's okay with that. We later see the scene, he like goes to cash his check at the check cashing place. And I think it's weird when people go to the check cashing place. I'm like, y'all ain't got no accounts? No banking accounts? No? Okay, you know, I think every person should have a checking account, a savings account, and an account at the credit union. Just, you know what I'm saying, spread your money through. Just spread it around everywhere so you always is covered one way or the other. Anywho, he goes to the check cashing place, and first of all, they was ghetto. Okay, the girls in there just chit-chatting away, and you doing their goddamn job, even though it's a long line outside. And I hate when anyone does that. When anyone does that, I'm like, excuse me, and I need you to help me. Thank you very much. Do your job. And he cashed his check, and he like, wait, you know, this is short. And she was like, the fees went up. And I'm like, you ain't think to look about the fees before you went and cashed your check? Ernest, Lord Jesus, Emmett. But also, well, I guess they don't have to tell people they fees change because they got them posted. So of course he's upset, like, when this y'all robbing the people before, you know, they even get their money, got these high ass fees. And she said, well, go on over to check and save. I made the name up, but she said a different bank name, and see how they gonna do, because you know they're gonna fuck you anyway. I'm looking like, well, dang, is all the check cashing place fucking people out their money? We had check cashing places here in Michigan too. Most of them is at the store. Like, you can go to the little corner store and cash your check. But I'm like, I haven't had to go to a store and cash a check since I was in my early 20s, okay? Because you eventually just grow up. But I guess Emily is young, so okay, he can still be cashing checks. Okay, all right, I get it. It's okay. Anyway, so we see him go and he talks to Tiffany, because the girl in the check cashing place said, you know, you talk about your money, but you got them expensive ass shoes on. I'm looking like, well, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Keep your shoe game up. So he gonna meet me Tiffany Park in some goddamn flip flops. I'm like, you ain't had no other shoes? Okay, if you say so. And he just says to her like, look, we need to see eye to eye on things, and all I want is to be there for my son and for us to get along. So, you know what I'm saying? Can we work this out? You know what I'm saying? Can we just be friends or whatever? And he gives us some money. Now she, okay, sure. EJ. She had her boyfriend, that dude who had the knife in the last episode, come over with the baby. She said, you want to keep him overnight? Okay, you can keep him overnight. I'm gonna come get him in the morning because he gave her some money. Now he can see the baby. Now the baby can stay overnight. Girl, I do not like when mothers keep their children away from a father who wants to be there. Like, I get you have to establish they need to pay child support, absolutely, but at the same time, if you have a baby by a broke ass person, you can't expect them to become rich overnight. He was broke when you met him. Okay, he didn't have any money then, so you can't want him to magically become this ultra person who has all this money. He didn't have no money. That's why y'all ain't had no condoms, no Plan B pill. Anywho, so he'll get a baby overnight because he got some money. So then the dude she with, like, oh yeah, he got his little monkey bear, whatever. Oh yeah, man, I'm gonna talk to her. I'm gonna help you out so that you can see your son. He like, all right, man, I appreciate that. Dude then says, just give me an extra $100 every month and we cool, because you don't want no issues with me. Motherfucker. I'm like, bruh. And Emmett just looked at him like, seriously? And he just walked away because, of course, the dude got a teardrop on his eye. He probably the killer. It is what it is. And, I'm like, he just a piece of shit in my personal opinion. The next thing we see is Tracy is at one of those mothers whose children have been killed meetings at the church. And, she's telling the story of, she said when she was younger, her stepfather had a really bad drug habit and he owed some man some money. So her stepfather gave her to the man he owed money to. And she basically was living there, and she was 16 years old. She said, he gave me a room to sleep in. I had like a TV. I had my own little things or whatever at this man's house, who I was used to pay a debt. And again, she was 16. She said, and then one night he came in the room and things happened. And she said, and then, the next thing she knew, she was pregnant. So she's like, she told the man that she did not want to have a baby. And he said, you ain't having no abortion. No. So she said, I then just took a whole bottle of aspirin or Advil, a bottle of pills, either trying to kill herself, kill the baby, but she was trying to take everybody out. And, it's like he rushed me to the hospital. I ended up living. And she's like, I made a deal with him. And I said, the only way I'll have this baby is if you let me go. And she said, luckily, he let me go, and I ended up getting my Jason. And I'm like, so she got pregnant. She basically was raped. Or, yeah, because she said the man was much older than me. She made it clear that he was an older man. She was a 16-year-old kid, and he had sex with her. Because back then, if a drug dealer gave their drug supplier a person, that was their property. It sounds horrible, but that's honestly what happens in some cases and stuff like that, and it's just crazy. We then see Laverne, Coochie's mom, come into the group, and she sits down. And when she sits down and they say, hey, this is Laverne, her son was killed too. His name was, whatever. His name was Coochie, he was killed, but it is what it is. And you see Tracy looking at Laverne, and I'm like, I think Tracy know that Ronnie killed Coochie. So I think when Laverne said who her son was, I think she knew exactly who Laverne was and knew her son's murder was the reason that Laverne's son was dead too. So, when they leave out the group or whatever, Laverne, hey, Tracy, because she knew that her son was the kid who was the big star or whatever. And she said, I don't know if you know this, but my son was brought in questioning in your son's murder. And see, y'all hear me doing, it's the water. She's like, yeah, I heard that, whatever, it's fine. And she just said, my son was really innocent. He couldn't kill a fly. He was the best kid ever. She said, my son didn't kill your son. She said, my son, it's like, it was literally just the wrong place at the wrong time. And I just want you to know that. And then Laverne left. And you could see in Tracy's face, she knew in a way she's also to blame. Even though she didn't pull the trigger, she kind of pushed Ronnie to do something dumb or whatever. So she kind of feels guilty knowing that, he killed this kid who didn't even kill her son. And in a way, they are guilty. So, it was crazy, crazy, crazy. Next, we see Brandon and Jerica having butt naked nasty sex. They was having raw sex. They was having the sex that you have when you don't have no condom on. You know what I'm saying? That raw. They was having some really raw nasty. That's, even though I know that they wasn't, because it's a TV show, but I'm saying in layman's terms, they was having raw sex. Okay, that was having that good sex when you married to somebody, you trust them, and they got no diseases, and you don't mind getting pregnant. That's the kind of sex they was having. They was having that I don't want to pull out sex. I'm just saying, because raw sex is great. That's what the fuck they were having. And we then see Brandon up in the kitchen cooking, and they have like a little regular conversation. And, Jerica walk in and she slide him a shoebox. I say, in that shoebox, watch, there's going to be some money. It's either some money or she found the gun that Gravy got rid of because it was in the house. I thought it was one of the two. Well, turns out it was some money. It's a box of money that she's been saving. And she's like, here, take this and get your food truck fixed up. And she's like, it's going to be a while before you would see money from the house. She said, even if the house sells right now, you still want to get a check for like 3 or 4 months. So, use this to just get it started now so that you're not really waiting on it. And I said, see, ain't that a good girlfriend? That is what you do when your man has an idea and a plan. You help him. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong. If you saved up some money and it's your real man, like your man who you had raw sex with, y'all share the same house, and his social security number, that kind of man, you go ahead and you just give him the money you have saved up because y'all is building a life together. Sometimes feels like, I ain't helping him because what if he leave me? Well, bitch, what if he make it and take you with him? Okay? Just trust in your man, okay? Trust in the man that you love if he's worth it. Know the difference. At first, he did not want to take it, but when she said, take it because it can take so long to get the money from the house, he said, okay, cool. We then see he go to Luis, and he should just not trust Luis. I don't trust Luis because 1, he was stealing some damn fish. 2, he tried to help him get a gun. And Luis, anything with Luis, it always go wrong in some kind of way. So I'm just waiting for the goddamn other shoe to drop. So, he goes to Luis's friends, family, little fix-up shop or whatever. And he's like, yeah, one cousin gonna fix your truck up. One cousin gonna get you your permit, a fake permit at that. And blah, blah, blah. He's like, wait, a fake permit? Why a fake permit? He says, well, because it takes time to get a real one. Sometimes it can take months to get the real one. So in the meantime, in between time, you're gonna have this fake one that looks real. And as long as the city officials don't come looking for you, you can, do whatever. So yeah, we see that whole thing. We then see his truck is all fixed up and everything. I'm like, how they fix that truck up in like a day? Maybe 2. But I'm like, is the paint dry? I was just, but I'm like, maybe this was a couple of days and we just didn't know it. But I thought it was just 1 day, But I'm like, that was pretty fast. So his truck is all fixed up and all cute and all nice and stuff. And he goes to this corner where there are other truck vendors at. And he tried to just come in like this park because it's a free country. They ain't having it. Well, who are you? What are you doing here? This is our corner. He like, man, look, it's a free world, it's an open space. Hush it. And he stay like, no, that's so-and-so spot. They ain't here, and we saving it. And plus, that permit, even real, it's a counterfeit. It looks good, but we know it's fake. So go ahead and leave and park across the street, or we're going to call the city official. So he has to leave and park across the street. And across the street, it's just like under a bridge. It's the equivalent of, you see on movies and they say, this is the road to grandmother's house. But to get to grandmother's house, you either go through the spooky forest or through the rainbows and the lollipops forest. So he was in the dark forest where you think somebody gonna get murdered, and they was in like a little nice lollipop place. That was kind of how it was. But he sits there, of course he's mad or whatever, but he does end up getting his first customer. This guy come up like, hey, what you doing here? He's like, oh, I'm a food truck. Like, all right, and he orders some food. So Brandon's very excited because 1, it's his first customer. But as he's serving his first customer, 2 kids who were, I guess, Reggie's henchmen or flunkies or whatever, see him and say, hey, ain't that the dude that, supposedly or Reg? We need to go tell him about that because he over there serving, he got a whole food truck. Because remember, Reg wanted money or was asking Brandon how his credit score was. So they still had that whole thing to handle, and we haven't seen Brandon and Reg connect since then because Q been back and Q ain't having that bullshit. So, we We see that. Now at the end of his little day at his little food truck, we see Sarah pop up. So Sarah pop up like, hey, yeah, Louise had posted about you having your own food trucks. I came by, whatever. He like, all right, we know what's up, what you want. Chef knows about us. I'm like, well, bitch, does he? What the, okay. So yeah, crazy. Papa is still mad at Kevin because Kevin, of course, didn't tell him about shooting Ronnie. But, you know, Kevin just admits like, hey, it did happen. It happened so quick. I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to think about it. I wanted to just forget it. I wasn't trying to dwell on it. You know, it's just a lot going on, and I just wasn't trying to talk about it. Papa basically understands hearing Kevin talk about how hard it was for him to even deal with it. Because he figured they talk about how it was the guy who shot the Coogee kid and how he came after him, and so I just ended up shooting him. It just happened. It was crazy. And yeah, Papa says, okay, cool, we know no more secrets. So we see that. But next we see him talking to Andrea at the play thing, and Andrea, whatever it is telling Kevin, hey, you know, about us hanging out and like dating or whatever. So my parents said I can't date till I'm 18, and so we can be friends though. And I thought to myself, well, hell, y'all 10, maybe 12. Of course y'all should not be dating. Thank God your parents didn't let you be fast out in these streets. And yes, just be the little boy's friend. You know, thank God. From there, Ronnie. We see Ronnie. And he's like at the little memorial thing for Coogee. You know how people make a little teddy bears and stuff at where someone died, you know, so they have that whole thing. And he's there and he's taking it all and he's just feeling all these emotions. And from there, he go home. You know, he goes home to his grandma's house. And, you know, was it this? I think maybe it was just his house. No, it was grandma's house because Jada was there. And, you know, he in the bathroom looking at himself in the mirror. And he looking. And then he shaves his face. And when he finished shaving, I said, hey, daddy. Look, Ronnie was a little cute when he looked younger. He didn't like he did any drugs. He was walking with a little bit of a pep in his step. He wasn't walking around like no dead man no more. I was like, hey, daddy, you hungry? You want a burger? I can cook you something. What do you need, honey? He was cute. You know what I'm saying? He was cute. I told you I like tall, skinny guys. So he go in the kitchen. Jada's there making food or whatever for Miss Ethel, and she basically tells him that, you know, 1, I got fired, 2, I got fired because of you, and 3, because I'm let go, they gonna assign her someone else. And if they assign her someone else, they're not gonna be as nice as me and look over some of the things that's going on here with her and how she really needs to be in a home. She's like, so, you know, you be gone all the time, so you need to figure something out or who's gonna take care of her, because if you're not here, I won't be here to, you know, look after her the whole time. So, you know, I'm like, well, okay, you know. So we then see Jada talking with Miss Ethel, and Miss Ethel like, I know what you're doing here. She brings up how whoever called and said how they were gonna assign her someone else, so she knew Jada was no longer working for her anymore. And then she said, was it because of Ronnie? And she's like, yeah, but don't worry about it. You know, we're not going to think about that. It's fine. I got some money saved up. I'm good. She's like, hand me them box of cigarettes over there. Chris, just hand them to me. So Jada hands her the cigarettes, and she goes into it. And she pulls out a roll of money and gives it to Jada. And I'm like, Miss Ethel, oh, no. Okay, but y'all know them old people, girl, they be catching them checks, and because they stuff, you know, they bills sometimes be low, they just be stacking their paper and put it to the side and hiding it in weird places in their house. They really, really do it. My Aunt Willie used to do it. It was funny. But Jada was like, no, I can't take this, I'm good. She's like, no, to, you know, take it. It's the least I can do, you know, for what you did. And I'm like, okay, cool. That was really, really nice. We then see Ronnie going to see his 2 friends, them 2 flunky dudes, and he bring them back to Miss Ethel's house. I'm looking like, now what the hell is Ronnie doing? He's basically trying to show them around to help take care of her in case something does happen to him. Miss Ethel ain't having it. You brought these 2 ragamuffins up in my house, you know, at least he got mad up. The other one smelled like weed, and she ain't having it. She's like, I don't know what you got going on here. I want him out my house. Honey, she pick up the goddamn shotgun. They run out. He like, Grandma, ain't no bullets in that gun, Grandma. And she like, look, I don't know what's going on, but I don't want no parts of it. You know, just leave me be, and just, you know, whatever you trying to plan, don't include me in it. And he like, all right. So he said, I'm just gonna make up some grilled cheese sandwiches. And I'm like, well, you know, that's what you do. Next we see Q. Q just get into Wallace's car and sit in the passenger seat. Q has this swagger to be an old man. You know what I'm saying? He's an old gangster and it's a beautiful thing. And he like, what the fuck are you doing up in my car, man? He like, look, Trice ain't doing his job like he's supposed to. You know he fucking up, and he ain't handling business right. He was like, you know that because if he was, I wouldn't have been able to steal his dog and your guns. So, you might as well just let me handle Trice. Me and you can do business, and I'll bring order back to the South Side. Won't be this whole guns and violence and all that stuff. It'll be ran like a business. He like, all right, but what do you want from me? He gives him an envelope, which I'm pretty sure was some money, and he like, now you gotta play your hand. He was like, who killed my son? Like, no, damn it. Y'all should know that by now, though. He said, no, who killed that basketball star? He like, Jason, like, why you care? And then he was like, because he was my son. I said, bitch, finally they admitted it. So I'm like, well, damn it. That means that Q was a drug dealer dealing drugs to Trace's daddy, and Q was the old man fucking a 16-year-old girl. Q, you old nasty bastard, you. Q. So, but it makes me upset because I still like Q with his little dirty ass. Oh, pedophile ass. Ooh, this nasty. But I like him because he's trying to get revenge for his son being murdered. He's trying to figure out who did it, but we see why Jada, Lord Jesus, why Tracy looks at him the way she would look at him with disgust, because I was a kid and you took it. You then took it and forced me to have a baby who then was killed, all these years later or whatnot. So I'm like, finally, they admit he was the daddy. But the kicker thing was to find out how she got pregnant with him. Because you ain't the good dude who we thought they messed around or whatever when she was of age. You was an old drug dealer who was taking people as payment. You was basically a slave man. Let me stop if I go too far and just get all pissed off about it. So, Wallace then says it was Trice. Trice is the one who killed Jason. And, he like, all right. So he got the car and he leave. The next thing we see is Trice is at yoga. He's at yoga. And Reg is picking him up. And he like, where my regular ride at? He like, oh, they getting your car detailed somewhere else or whatever. He like, all right. What did you handle that yet? Talking about Q. And he was like, nah, I gotta find him. He an old head. I can't just like run up on him or whatever. And he like, look, stop trying to get him and get him. You know what I'm saying? Because you fucked up. So, get it handled. And he like, all right. And he then says, don't tell nobody that you picked me up from yoga. He like, okay, cool. So they leave and they pull off. And I'm like, okay. So then we see Kevin, Papa, and they going to find Jake because Jake ass went in school today. They find Jake at the house, and he basically like he quit school. I don't need school. Fuck the play. Fuck school. I'm going to be a drug dealer. Okay, because, Reg is good. Reg can go to school. They like, Reg is a drug dealer. He like, nah, because if he was white, they'd call him a doctor. No, they wouldn't. They would call him a drug dealer. They would. What are you talking about, little boy? So from there, Reg pull up. All right, come on, let's go. Come on, y'all want to go too? We're going to get some food. Now, at first, Papa and Kevin like, I don't really want to go. He's like, man, I know y'all hungry. Come on, let's just go. So they are going to get some food or whatever. Now, in the car, Papa finds the yoga mat. Like, man, you go to yoga? What kind of yoga you do? He like, oh, nah, man, this ain't mine. Don't worry about that. So we like, okay, try stuff his yoga mat in the car. And they talking or whatever. Reg is giving them horrible advice. Saying, y'all had sex chat. If a girl like you and she playing you fuck her friend. All this stupidness and stupid stuff or whatever. And I'm like, why is he talking to these kids, giving them the bad advice? So we then see they get some food or whatever. And when they outside the car eating the food, a car pull up. Hey, Reg, you seen Trice? He like, nah, man, I dropped him off at home earlier. You know what I'm saying? Why? What's wrong? He like, cause we've been calling him and he ain't answering his phone. Now he like, no, he probably was some bitch somewhere, just chilling or whatever. He gonna call you back. They're like, where you been all day? He like, oh, been hanging with my young boys. You know what I'm saying? We just stopped to get some food or whatever. We just been hanging all day. I'm like, Y'all, they've been hanging the whole time, but you know, okay, it is what it is. I'm gonna talk about that. So, dude pull off. Cool. So, when he pull off, what was they doing? They were talking. Yeah, Jake sees the kid from school we've been beefing with, who he keeps saying his brother is with another gang. And Red's like, if he talking shit to you and you let it ride, you basically a bitch. I'm like, that's not true. Like, you give horrible advice, dog. He then basically convinced Jake to go stand up for himself and say, you know, all it takes is this one time for you to show somebody that you ain't want to be fucked with and they'll leave you alone. Now that I agree with. When someone is bullying you, you do, like I told my nephews, if somebody keeps messing with you and messing with you and messing with you, you have the right, sometimes you have the right, if they put their hands on you, to knock their ass out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like how he basically told Jake, to go beat the boy up when the boy hadn't physically touched him. They can talk all they want. You know what I'm saying? You can talk. Don't worry about that. But if someone put their hands on you, you have the right to beat their ass. Like, fuck them up, okay? And so, Jake, little badass, walk over there. He walking. And then Red's look at Papa and Kevin like, y'all ain't gonna help him? Y'all ain't his boy? They like, God damn it, we did not want nothing to do with this. So Jake run up, punched the boy in the face. Then the boys is jumping on on Jake. And before Papa and Kevin didn't walk too fast to go help, because again, they ain't want to process. And luckily, then the police pull up. I'm like, well, God damn it, they often go to jail. Does Kevin have? Is the gun on anybody? Red's like, oh shit. I'm like, this shit is crazy. None of the kids get arrested. They all get let go. And then, you know, Jake like, all right, come on, let's go. Reg, all right, we're finna go. Come on, let's go. Honey, Kevin and Papa said, we'll walk. They was over it, baby. They was like, no, thank you. Y'all doing some extra shit we don't want nothing to do with. But it's a good thing that Papa and Kevin see the road Jake is going down, and they're trying to stop him from doing it. Like, Kevin shooting Ronnie wasn't intentional. Kevin shooting Ronnie was strictly, he was trying to protect himself, thinking Ronnie was going to do something to him. Jake likes that lifestyle. Like, he wants to do it. I don't think he is any longer scared of Reg. I think he wants in on it. He's happy that he's into it. And it's a good thing that Papa and Kevin can see that, and they're trying to distance themselves from being a part of it by saying, you know what, y'all on some other shit, because your brother happy that you almost got arrested, like it's some good shit, so we can't deal with that. So you know what, we out. You know, we gonna walk back to where we have to go to. I thought that was a good thing. Wallace and Cruz has to meet up at a restaurant. Basically, Wallace is aware that Cruz went to their boss about him. Part one. Part two is Wallace is also aware that Cruz is basically looking into him as the one who killed Jason or had something to do with Jason being killed. And he basically let Wallace know, yes, I talked to the boss about it. Yes, I got Jason's phone. I know he called 911. He was just saying things that he knew already. Like, I'm looking into a dog. So whatever you thought he was covering up, I'm uncovering it. And Wallace basically said, okay, if you want to come after me, fine. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do it. Jesus. Jada on the porch. Emmett on his way home with baby EJ, because he's walking him, help him go to sleep. And Jada saying how she's so proud of her son because he has completely changed since the beginning, because he's now an active father in at least one of his kids' life, because this kid is one who lived in his city. And, you know, she says how, you know, I got a job offer, you know, for a head, whatever position, you know, it's going to pay good and everything is great. Mom, that's great. And she's like, yeah, but it's just one thing. It's in Seattle. They live in Chicago. Seattle is in Washington. Or is it Seattle, Washington? Yes, in Washington. That's across the country. And he just looked shocked. I'm like, well, damn it. No, man. So the next thing we see is Brandon comes home. Brandon comes home after talking to Sarah earlier, where Sarah told him that Chef knew about them. And, you know, he like, look, I love that I'm back home. I love that we back together. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy we're doing this, but I don't want anything that I did while we weren't together to come back and bite me in the ass. So I'm just gonna be honest with you and say, we were broken up. I'm trying to, my shirt is being stupid. When we were broken up, I did mess with someone else. And she said, mess with? And he said, yeah. And he's like, I slept with someone. And she said, oh, okay. Was it anyone I knew? And then he said, it was Sarah. Your boss? That's why you quit. Oh my God. He's like, no, that's not true. That's not why I quit. It had nothing to do with it. They really did ask me to fire Luis, and I wasn't with it, and I quit. It had nothing to do with that. But I just wanted to be honest with you, because again, we were broken up. And then she's like, well, you know what? You're right. We didn't know if we were going to get back together. And when she said that, I said, oh baby, it's about to get real. And she says, because I was with someone else too. I slept with someone. And his whole face was like, bitch, what? Like, he put his head down. Men are so judgmental, or, that whole double standard where you just told her you slept with someone, and she was a little shocked when he made that face. I said he don't like it. He like somebody else put their spoon in my sugar and stirred it. Oh my God. So I can't wait to see how that plays out in the next season. The next episode. We then see Jake and Red's like pulling up to a building, and he like, I thought we was going home. He like, oh no, but we had to make one stop real quick to drop off a package. They got the car, pop the trunk. Trice been in the trunk this whole time, beaten up in the motherfucking trunk. I'm like, you been riding around all day with that man in the trunk? Jake looked shocked. Hell, I was shocked too. I assumed, honestly, that he had already dropped Trice off to Q. I didn't know he was riding around with that man in the trunk the whole day. Bitch, I said, Lord, ain't that something else? We then see the end scene of Ronnie out at the police station. He calls like 911. He calls for elderly check for elder abuse. Gives him the address, and saying that it might be a fire to go really quickly. I'm like, what is you doing? I was confused. Like, what is he? Why would he do that? Like, I'm like, is that his way of trying to get her in the home without him being like, her being pissed off at him and knowing he did it? Like, I was really confused. But then I realized, because he then walks into the police station. He's sitting there, and then Cruz walks up and he said, I want to confess to the murder of Coogee. I'm like, oh my God. It just got so good. And then the episode goes off. So we only have one episode left. The season finale is next week. I cannot wait. But I hope you guys enjoyed this particular review. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.